Boruto episode 132 review. Alright guys, this right here seems to be like one of the biggest things that coming into this arc we thought would probably be a big problem. Jiraiya actually found out that Sasuke was from the future. He came back to pretty much protect Naruto. Now in this situation, one of the biggest questions that I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have is, how does Jiraiya actually know that Sasuke is from the future? Now before I get into that, I kind of thought that Jiraiya was really, and I mean really slow throughout this whole arc. I thought that Jiraiya was being portrayed as this very childish character. Don't get me wrong, from the original Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, Jiraiya has been extremely childish. He's super playful, and of course he loves his quote-unquote research, but they kind of took it to a different level in this arc. We kind of find out in this past episode that a lot of that was more of a charade, and a lot of that was Jiraiya trying to figure out exactly who these quote-unquote traveling performers really are. Now we understand that Jiraiya, a character of his stature, understands that not everything seems to be what it is. We've seen that in the fight versus Orochimaru. We know his diligent research, actual research on the Akatsuki's. We've seen his diligent research, and also we see his work on missions when he did go after pain. So when Jiraiya does need to turn on, he turns it on, but it seemed like he had it turned on this whole time and we didn't really know. Now in my opinion, I feel like there's no necessarily actual legit reason why Jiraiya actually knew that Sasuke was from the future, but of course I think it was a multitude of things. I personally think that Jiraiya might have actually put a microphone on a lunchbox that he gave Sasuke. Now if you guys recall, Sasuke was given a lunchbox by Jiraiya to give to Naruto because he hadn't eaten. Now Jiraiya, being the guy that he is, he understands that he needs to find stuff out about Sasuke, so a microphone would be a very easy tactical move to pretty much see exactly what Sasuke and Naruto were talking about. And of course, because Sasuke pretty much spilled the beans how he had a friend and that friend pretty much went off to get power and he had to sever bonds, things like that, that probably gave Jiraiya the upper hand and the idea that, hey, this guy Sasuke is most likely going to be Sasuke. Now here's the thing, here's what probably set everything off, and here's what probably gave Jiraiya the confidence of actually doing this. Because Sasuke is a ninja, because Sasuke has the Sharingan, we'd understand that he could have easily spotted the microphone, but because he's trying to put on this facade, he feels like he cannot use the Sharingan at all. So it pretty much hindered Sasuke's ability to read the situation and probably see a microphone, and Jiraiya probably counted on that. That's why he probably felt a little bit confident of putting something so obvious in a lunchbox for Sasuke not to see. Now this isn't anything confirmed, this is just my opinion on the situation, but I do want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. What do you guys think gave it away for Jiraiya to actually know that that was Sasuke from the future? The elephant in the room is going to be, does Jiraiya know exactly who Boruto is? It's pretty clear, I mean, like, it's extremely blatant as of right now that Boruto looks a lot like Naruto. Boruto's chakra matches up with Naruto. It would be so Jiraiya if he doesn't really understand this. Like, let's be honest, Jiraiya cracking the most complicated code and then him just not understanding the most obvious thing, it would be so much him and just match his personality so much. But in my opinion, I feel like he's probably gonna figure everything out. I mean, he already said it himself, their chakras match. That right there is not necessarily common, especially in the ninja world, so I feel like he's gonna eventually know, or he already knows as of right now. Now the next episode, that's where everything's gonna pop off. What is Jiraiya gonna say? Is Jiraiya gonna tell Naruto? Is Jiraiya gonna force Sasuke to go on some missions together, gather some intel on the Akatsuki, or is Jiraiya probably just gonna spill the beans altogether? These are some very important questions that we have to know the answers to. And not only that, we have to understand Jiraiya's not necessarily gonna ask Sasuke to do anything too insane in him, because he understands that Urashiki is still at large. Urashiki is still looking for Naruto, so whatever Jiraiya wants Sasuke to do, he's probably gonna have to have Naruto there with him side by side and step by step as well. Now one of the bigger things that did happen in this episode, I did speak about this earlier in the video, but Sasuke actually went to Naruto and he had a heart-to-heart. Now in my opinion, I feel like Sasuke was actually looking forward for this to happen for a very long time. I think that as soon as he went back in time, he wanted this to happen. Now don't get me wrong, of course I understand that Sasuke is all business. Sasuke pretty much understands that the mission does come first, and he isn't necessarily trying to influence the future in any way, but I feel like Sasuke getting the closure from Naruto was something very important to him, of course on an emotional level. Now we understand that Naruto at the end of Naruto Shippuden actually did give Sasuke a sort of explanation about why he was still so obsessed with Sasuke, even though Sasuke pretty much told him like, hey, I want nothing to do with you, and after Sasuke pretty much almost tried to kill Kakashi and Sakura. But I feel like Sasuke getting the answer from Naruto in that exact moment when Naruto was grinding was definitely a very big thing for him, and I feel like Sasuke actually did gain a level of respect for Naruto. One of the things that really confused Sasuke about Naruto, and also added to why Sasuke didn't really like Naruto, was because Naruto was pretty much putting off training for himself. Naruto was pretty much putting off gaining power for himself just to save a friend. But in this episode, episode, he pretty much understood that Naruto was doing this to prove something to himself, that he can be strong enough to save a friend, that he can be good enough to save a friend. Now Sasuke sees and understands that Naruto was putting in all this work to prove to himself that he can do it, and he wasn't just doing this all just because he was obsessed with Sasuke. And I feel like that right there just had Sasuke respect Naruto even more. Now, of course, we understand that Sasuke is a character that doesn't really care about the sentimental stuff, but some of the things like this, some of the things with Sakura, those really do have an impact on Sasuke, even though he is this cold-hearted type of guy. And this just adds to his character development. Sasuke coming into Naruto Shippuden, he didn't really care about anything. Of course, he was really molded by Orochimaru's cold-bloodedness, but of course, even back then, Orochimaru said Sasuke was unusually cold. He was fueled by revenge. And of course, seeing him now, seeing him have a softer side, not only with Sakura, but also with Naruto, it's pretty much insane. Now, also in this episode, Boruto had a big moment with Neji, and of course, we all want to see how Boruto would react to Neji and seeing how Neji was, not only because he was just so committed to his craft, he was always dedicated to how he trained, but also the influences and what he actually learned from Naruto. And it seemed like Boruto, because of this, he pretty much understands that he didn't really know Naruto at all. He knew the Hokage Naruto, he knew the father Naruto, but he didn't really know where Naruto came from. And that was really made evident back in the Chunin exam, where he pretty much thought of Naruto as this unstoppable figure and no one could really take him down. And of course, Boruto did get that reality check when Momoshiki pretty much came into the Hidden Leaf Village and dropped him and kidnapped him in like 2.5 seconds. But this right here is something totally different. He understands and he's seeing the actual adversity that Naruto is going through. He himself is actually feeling what it feels like to not want to be around a character like Naruto. Now, for Neji to come in and pretty much give him that idea, or pretty much tell him that Naruto isn't necessarily looking for any sympathy, Naruto isn't necessarily looking for anybody to feel bad for him, because Naruto wants to prove himself right and prove everybody else wrong, that hey, he doesn't necessarily have to follow his fate. And of course, for Neji to be telling Boruto that Naruto had a very big impact on his overall life, that's going to be something very big, because Boruto thinks of Neji as someone extremely cool. He loved Neji even before he even met Neji, almost similar to how he thought of Jiraiya before he even met Jiraiya. Like, Neji was greater than everything else. Neji was like one of the greatest, and of course, for Naruto to have a profound impact on him, that right there pretty much hit Boruto extremely hard. Now he has a different level of appreciation for Naruto. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. And of course, one of the biggest things that I do want to hear your opinions about is, how do you guys think that Jiraiya found out that Sasuke is actually from the future? And not only that, a whole bunch of other things happened in this episode, some things that I didn't even really talk about, especially with the notes of Sasuke pretty much dropping in, and now Sakura got to read it. But let me know what you guys think about this episode in the comment section below. It's me, your boy Baara, and we out.
It's a knife.
Check my clock, I can't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop. No popcorn, I pop pistols. Reaming my body, clothing no issue. Bitch, you look sick, you need a tissue. You drop a body, I just might bless you. I'm metrosexual, no high cholesterol. Where's Jenny Craig? Bitch, just get sexual.